That is simp material.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care how expensive her cookies are. I love Pokemon. I'm donating 100 subs.
Entei tips $50 to all the hot tub streamers to get his name written on their thighs.
Oh, God.
It's the unknown week for this unknown podcast. Nobody knows about this podcast. We're talking to no one. You are all illusions. Whoa. To Kill A Delibird, welcome back, everybody. It's a big week today, because we're talking about Pokemon 3, the movie, Spell of the Unknown Entei. Big old mouthful. Welcome back to the podcast, Pokemon Anime Rewatch. I'm Kellan. I play a lot of Pokemon. I know things about Pokemon, and I yell at my co-host because he doesn't know anything about Pokemon at all. And that co-host is, as usual, is Graham. Graham, how you doing?
Kellan, I am actually your storybook father, and I'm here to tell you, you have been in a coma for 20 years.
Oh, thank God.
And all of this is an illusion, like you said, all of our listeners. Now, I think the especially strange part of this illusion, Kellan, is that this is all you could think of. You could have given yourself so much more.
Apparently, I could be like flying, controlling the oceans.
You're such a moderate illusionist.
Podcast.
Yeah. You're like, 200 weekly listeners. That's the stuff, baby.
It's like that Lotto 649 or Lotto Max commercial where they're like, dream bigger, dream bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want my shitty little Pokemon podcast.
Dream bigger. You're like, a free Kit Kat bar. Dream bigger.
I'll always take a free Kit Kat.
Half price hams from Safeway. I love it.
No, I would go free meat. That's something I would go for.
Okay, you do have some ambition.
We need free meat
the
in this world.
Free the meat.
Free the meat. Hashtag free the meat. Get that trending on Twitter.
Well, with hashtag free the meat, Kellan, you know what? You asked me how I'm doing, and I'm actually traumatized, okay? I walked downstairs to record this podcast. Peek behind the curtains. I record in our basement.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife has been sick, so she's been binging television down here a lot. And she had just started watching that Game of Thrones spinoff, House of the Dragons, or something like that. And I've never seen this one. But the scene I walked downstairs, and this isn't a spoiler, because I think this is like at the beginning of the first episode, there's like some kind of pillage going. Like some army is like destroying a castle or a town or something like that. And so they're like killing all these people. And they like grab this prisoner and they just pull down his pants and start like mutilating his genitals. And I was like, what the fuck are you watching? I was like, my stomach is all turned now. I'm like,
you don't put porn on the TV. What are you doing?
That's not even, is that even porn? I don't know what, it was so gross. And it's like, it kind of grounded me, Kellan, because sometimes I'm like, man, we're such degenerates. But like, that's a mainstream television show. So I think it's okay that we talk about Noctowl with a throbbing erection.
Yeah, sure.
That's how I make myself sleep at night. Because House of the Dragons
thinking about
exists.
Owl penises?
No, that I'm allowed to talk about owl penises. The
I
owl
see.
penises aren't that bad. If the worst thing you do is talk about owl penises, you're doing all right.
Sure. Yep.
That's my moral compass.
That's what the courts are all based on. Have you done anything worse
Is
than
this better
talking about
or
owl
worse
penises?
than owl dick internet conversations?
If it's better, then you're good.
For
You're
those
off.
of you who have no idea what we're talking about, check out last week's episode where we hypothesized that Noctowl could have a giant penis if he wanted to.
Girthy wiener.
Girthy vein, pitch and yaw, all of that.
Well, I've had enough of owl penises for a lifetime.
Do you got anything you want to talk about, Kellan, before the bulk of the episode?
Not really. I went to a secondhand game store yesterday. I picked up a bunch of old Universal game cases that don't get produced anymore, so I was happy about that.
Oh, okay. What are those?
There were this really good quality game case that you can put like 64 SNES Genesis carts in.
Okay.
Like, they can hold all kinds of things, and they're just really good quality, and they aren't made by the person who used to make them anymore, and so they're not as easy to find.
When they're for the cartridges or they're for the boxes?
The cartridges.
Oh, nice. Yeah, my cartridges are loose, actually. I'm looking over at my collection.
I've always had loose N64 carts. Wanted proper cases to put them in, and so now I have
I
them.
don't
So all I
have
gotta do is print off the labels.
I don't have an N64, but I have a Genesis and I
Loser.
have a NES and I have a Super Famicom. Come on, Kellan, you called me a loser? I have a Super Famicom. Come
I have
on.
I have a NES that isn't hooked up because I don't have the room for it right now. But I have a Pikachu N64 that my siblings got me for high school graduation. And I
Yeah,
love
that
it.
Pikachu N64 is pretty swag.
It's fucking cool.
But come on, a Super Famicom, that's pretty swag too.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
I don't have Donkey Kong Country. I have Super Donkey Kong. Okay? I don't have Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, Kellan. I have Legend of Zelda Triforce of the Gods.
It's a better name
Oh,
anyway.
isn't
He
that
doesn't go to the
that's
past.
such a sick name, right? Triforce of the
Yeah.
Gods? I'm like,
Link to the
holy
Past makes no
crap.
sense. He doesn't time travel in that one. He goes between worlds.
Yeah. Is it not sort of implied that the Dark World is also like an ancient past? It's a
Who
stretch,
cares
though.
about that? If it's a dark world, it's a dark world. I don't care about what year it is.
Yeah, I know. It should have been linked to the Dark World.
Yeah, or something like that.
But Triforce of the God should have been the name. That's such a sick
That is a good
name.
name.
That's such
Very
a
good
sick
name, yeah.
I wonder if it was still because there was still a little bit of anxiety and localization about bringing all of the imagery and language from Japanese games that may have been interpreted as Christian here in North America. So if you'll notice, like a lot of NES and Super NES era, they kind of push away from stuff that would explicitly name gods and stuff like that. Like in every JRPG, you kill God, but they sort
Yeah.
of like try to ignore that for a bit. Like one of the famous NES games that never got localized is Devil World or Demon World or whatever that's called.
Yeah, I've heard of
Have
that
you seen
one.
that one? It's got
I've
like
heard of it.
crosses and shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like a NES game. Like it's so
Yeah.
it's so cartoony. Like
They
what
could have just
par-
called it something else and it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, or like
Probably.
turn the cross into a pizza. Like it's like kind
Yeah.
of like a Pac-Man-ish looking game. So
Mm-hmm. The one thing I'll give Link to the Past is that it spawned what I still think is a really funny dumb joke from my childhood. When I was in like grade 6, I was getting really into like we should make YouTube videos and stuff. And a friend of mine who has long since not been a friend, he's a real piece of work. We came up with like a bunch of Zelda parody titles that we were like, oh, we're gonna do this. We never ended up doing any of them. Because we were grade 6, we were children. We thought it was hilarious to make the Wind Waker the Wind Breaker, which just makes Link fart all the time.
Oh,
Stuff like that.
break wind to play on wind.
Yeah.
That's I don't know if I'd say that's funny, but it's amusing. It's
To
amusing.
grade 6 us, it was hilarious.
I mean, I like it. I'm not gonna lie.
But our idea for this Zelda parody thing was that we were changing the name of the character to Fink. And so
Okay.
instead of a Link to the Past, we were gonna make a Fink to last Tuesday.
Oh,
And that was the whole joke.
That's very not funny. I'm on board for the
We
Windbreaker.
thought it was so
The
good.
Windbreaker's good, actually. You know, now that you said this, the Windbreaker's actually hilarious.
We thought it was great. Fink wakes up and he's like, "Oh fuck, it's just Tuesday. God damn it!"
Why?
And that was the whole
Fink?
joke.
Why Fink? What is that?
I don't know.
mean?
We were.
Oh,
like,
it's
11.
just the name. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just was checking
Anyway.
if it meant something, but
Anyway, I still chuckle a little bit at a Fink to last Tuesday.
I'm
but-
surprised you didn't call him a stink. Like,
Well, we
to
were
be part
11,
of
we
the
weren't smart.
Windbreaker.
We weren't clever.
You're really using these excuses a lot.
Yeah.
I met you when you were 11. You actually were clever.
Yeah, sometimes.
You were clever when you were 3.
Oh yeah, rapping the alphabet.
You could yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, when Kellan was like a toddler almost, he would do this thing where he would rap the alphabet and he would like throw gang signs and stuff. Like he was all swag.
I've been able to read since I was 3. That was like a big thing.
You were like a
and-
child prodigy.
Yeah, and then what happened, man? I fell off.
You could have like been studying calculus and the stars or like great literature, but you like found a Pokemon Red cartridge instead. Like I'd like to see these like two paths splitting in your future, right? It's like maybe there's this other world where you're like part of like the UN. You're like this like world leader. But then what happened is like you were fighting against these super powerful aliens, and the aliens were like, how can we destroy the Earthlings? We need to take down their great leader, Kellan. So they went back in time and put a Pokemon Red cartridge underneath your pillow, and boom, it was all over.
I believe it. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that's what happened in my childhood.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
I think I'm just telling the plot to a Star Trek movie 7, First Contact. I think that's the same plot.
Jesus.
Anyways,
let's get to things today that we're doing because there's a lot.
Oh yeah, let's get into the movie. This is Pokemon Movie 3. You know, okay, I do got a quick bit, and then I want to talk about impressions and stuff like that. But this is a quick one because there's a lot to talk about with this movie, and kind of holding cards to the chest. Haven't even told how I feel about it yet. So let's start off with some stupidity before we start moderately thinking, firing 1 to 2 neurons. Okay, so in this movie, right, it happens very early on, but one of the main plot drivers is that this little girl is sort of creating a new reality. A lot of her imagination's coming from a storybook. In the storybook, she's getting these inspirations about Entei, and she's getting inspired about like a crystalline castle, and her mansion, her property is all turned into like this crystal castle. Now, these are the top 10 things that the castle could have been transformed into instead of crystal.
Based on other storybooks? Is that where we're going?
Not storybooks necessarily. Cookbooks, horror books, YouTube videos, that sort of thing.
Based on the media she had lying around.
Exactly, anything. All right, so first off, we got a Papa John's flyer in the mail, and her whole house is pepperoni pizza. That's number 10. Just riding pepperoni pizza, like Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs.
You can't out Pizza the Hut, though.
You can't out Pizza the Hut. Have you ever seen that movie, Kellan?
No.
Pizza the Hut is their parody of Jabba the Hutt, and he is Jabba the Hutt, but he's made out of mozzarella and pepperoni, and they defeat him because he gets trapped in his limo and eats himself.
So they do out Pizza the Hut.
They do out Pizza the Hut in that case, yeah.
Crazy.
The other flyer that she could have gotten in the mail, number 9, Subway sandwiches. Just Subway. Imagine those cold cut combos everywhere. This would be a dream for about 3 hours before those things start rotting.
But it would smell so nice in there.
Oh. Yeah, one of my fondest Subway memories is I was sitting outside of the Subway, like the Subway sandwich shop on my university campus that I went to. Yeah, I was just sitting out on a bench, and some guys like walk out of it, and one of them to the others like, "You ever noticed how it always smells like Subway in there?" And I was like, "That's a great way to put it." It does always smell like Subway inside a Subway.
Really? Yeah, I never would have guessed.
Well, number 8. Valentine's Day, Christmas, you know what they're selling. And she's got another flyer. It's chocolate. The whole thing's made out of chocolate.
It's like that scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where they make a palace out of chocolate.
Yeah, and then just starts to chowing down on everything.
Yeah. No. The Prince Pondicherry commissions Willy Wonka to build him a palace of chocolate. And so Wonka does it. And then he's like, "You better start eating it quick because it's going to melt soon." And Prince Pondicherry is like, "No, I do not intend to eat my home. I intend to live in it." And he starts living in it. And then it was a hot day, a couple days later, and the whole thing started melting. He nearly died from falling chocolate.
Right. That's from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Because like I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I do remember that, but I couldn't place where it was from. Could have been inspiration in my mind. All right, so she actually had a Roald Dahl novel. I change everything. But Kellan, I wanted to think, what is the same as chocolate? She could have been thinking of the chocolate, but the unknown totally interpret her intentions wrong because they're sort of stupid. And that leads to number 7. It's made of poo. A castle made of poo.
All right, number 6.
Cats. The whole thing is cats. They're just jumping on each other, screaming. It's hilarious. Which leads us to number 5. Humans, but just writhing flesh all fused together, limbs and junk coming out of it. And they're all like, "Kill me. Kill me." Such a fate, madame. Why would you give us this existence?
What the fuck is this list?
It's something.
Number 4.
Number 4. Equally as haunting, Kellan. It's Game Boy Colors, like encased, like Jake or Logan Paul's table or whatever the hell that was.
What?
Do you know what I'm talking about? One of the Paul brothers like made a table out of Game Boy Colors, and retro collectors were mad because it was stupid.
Yeah, I vaguely recall that.
Yeah, well, now it's a whole castle. The little girl's watching YouTube when the unknown come.
All keep the children away from the Paul brothers. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
seriously, right? Well, good thing she wasn't watching the Suicide Forest video. Number 3, Jigglypuffs, okay?
Jesus.
The gang had come by. She had been listening to Jigglypuff. She was about to fall asleep when, boom, the whole castle becomes Jigglypuffs, and they're singing all the time, Kellan.
Oh no.
This is horrifying.
You can't even get near the place. She's asleep forever.
That would have been the biggest crisis. Sleeping Beauty 2, too much Jigglypuff.
Too jiggly, too puff.
Too jiggly, too puff indeed. Speaking of twos, number 2. Well, she was feeling a little peckish, right? She was feeling a little hungry. And I don't know about you, but when I feel hungry, I think of ground beef with old El Paso taco seasoning. You know what I'm talking about. Add half a cup of water, add the seasoning, let that thing simmer in your pan until you have this lovely starchy mess of ground beef and cumin. Well, her whole castle's made of it now.
I have many questions about your mental state when you were writing this list. Because this is all over the fucking place.
I'm not sure if I could answer those questions.
All right, what's number 1?
Number 1. Okay,
Is
imagine
it Noctowl dicks?
Fuck, you sometimes think of better number 1s. I'm like, that's what it should have been. She was listening to To Kill A Delibird, and now it's all Noctowl dicks all the way down. It's possibly just as haunting, Kellan. She is clicking on to YouTube. She gets the start of a video, and boom, the whole castle is just YouTubers.
Just ads.
YouTubers all doing their intros. What's up, guys? Like and
How's
subscribe.
it going, YouTube? It's your boy.
Welcome back. Boys,
Today
the
I
plan
gathered-
is simple.
In this video, I'm gonna...
Yeah, it's all that. It's all the Mr. Beasts. It's all the Ludwigs. It's just like, oh.
And it's all yelling.
Yelling. Yelling is
worst.
funny. It's Kai Cenat reacting to an Elden Ring boss. Like, it's like the loudest shit. And all of Johto goes deaf.
Oh my god. All right.
Well,
Let's
we
do
got
the movie.
through that. Is your brain still intact?
Barely.
It's the way
Just
I like
barely.
it. It's the way I like it.
Scotch tape and a glue stick.
Okay, so reminder to the audience for how we do movies, since normally we will kind of cut up and rank our experience with Pokemon at the end of every episode, as well as do a little bit of literature recap. For the movies, we like to split it into chunks. So we're going to loosely do first 20-minute chunk, then the next 20 minutes, and then the last half an hour of this 70-minute feast for the brains, ears, and eyes.
Yeah, it's the running time is like 72 minutes, but like 4 or 5 of that is credits. So.
Yeah. And there's a lot of action
really
in that last.
It's really like
minutes,
65 or something.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really barely a movie.
Well, this is kind of a thing with anime movies, is that they're more like specials.
Yeah.
Like
in
Dragon
theaters,
Ball Z movies
though.
are like that. Oh, it did. Okay, I wasn't. Oh, right. And number 4 was in theaters too, right?
Yeah, those are the only ones in theaters until there's 2 movies from Gen 7 that are like quote unquote reboots of like the original start of the series.
Okay.
And then something else, I'm not sure. They're reboots, so it's like it's not Brock and Misty, and there's different Pokemon and stuff. It's weird. I don't know anything about them. But
Well, maybe we'll learn in
I
10
think
years.
the first one of those was in theaters, and that was the first one in theaters since the Celebi movie.
Maybe it's like a limited release too, because like
Maybe
there are lots of anime movies that will get, especially since anime is more and more popular now. Even these shorter quote unquote movies are getting limited releases. Like they'll do like new One Piece movies in theaters, and those are the same thing. They're like 70 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was in theaters. I didn't see it in theaters. I rented this one, and this was the last Pokemon movie I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a kid.
I had seen this one before. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah, me too.
I have the first 4 movies on VHS back home, but I definitely watched the first 2 movies way more than I watched this one.
Yeah, I mean,
So I didn't really remember much
first
about this one.
movie's the one I watched the most by far.
Yeah.
Because I didn't remember much of it too. And so I remembered almost nothing but this one. General impressions, though, Kellan, I kind of liked this quite a bit.
It
actually.
rocks.
Yeah,
This movie's great.
This movie's great. I liked it way more than I thought I was going to. Having not remembered that much about it, I was kind of going to be like, okay. But you know what this movie is?
What?
It's like if Pokemon 2000 had a slightly tighter plot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has, like, the action and, like, the big Pokemon of Pokemon 2000, but Pokemon 2000 had a really duct-taped of a plot. Like, the villain, like, had no backstory.
Or a name.
The crisis, you're like, "Okay," and then the whole Deus Ex Machina with Ash being a chosen one was, like, super corny. This one actually, like, is coherent.
Yeah.
The backstory to the crisis is, like, thought out and, emotive, and Ash and the crew, how they get through it makes sense, and it maybe that's a weirdly low bar, but I thought it was solid.
Yeah, Ash and the gang help save the day, but the world doesn't have to turn to Ash
Yeah,
to
exactly.
do it. So,
It's a bit smaller of a scope that still has a lot of weight to it.
but with the release of this movie in theaters, they gave out a special Entei trading card.
Oh.
I still have it.
Oh,
I
wow,
got it
nice.
from you or my brother or something, probably from you. I still have it somewhere. From what I remember, it is in bad shape.
I would actually probably guess one of your brothers because I didn't see it in theaters, so
Oh right, yeah, you said that.
I don't know how I would have got it. So I would guess one of your brothers. I gave you a lot of cards from mostly Gen 1 cards, though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
According to price charting, this card would be anywhere from $5 ungraded to $101 for perfect condition. The one I have, its condition is probably worth about 20 cents.
Yeah. Whoops.
Anyway, should we
Well,
get into the
yeah, you want
movie?
to kick us off? Let's start with the first 20-minute chunk of this movie.
So yeah, we open up on a prelude of sorts. There's a big house, big mansion. We go into a room, cute room with a ponytail rocking horse and a little Dawn fan elephant slide. Very adorable. There's a man reading to his daughter about legendary Pokemon, about the unknown, and about Entei. She really likes Entei.
She
Big
loves
fan of Entei.
Entei. We'll get to know him soon.
It's real big and strong and nice, just like her papa. And Papa's like, "Oh, so I'm Entei? Roar!
Yeah, and so
Roar, I'm
they're
Entei."
playing cute, like they pull you in right away, trying to feel for this family. And while they're playing, the dad gets a call. Well, he gets an email. He gets an email, but like a video email. Is
Yeah.
a cool computer, cool little animation that the email is like a Pidgey on the
Hmm.
computer, a Pidgey
Delivering
bringing
the
in the
mail.
delivering the mail. And so this is Skylar, Spencer's assistant, and he's got this important discovery. There's some desert ruin. So we've set the stage that this guy is like an important researcher of some point, and he has this daughter. Possibly he is the only parent, and now he's heading off to these ruins. Another important piece of information here, though, is as he's saying goodbye to the kid, we learn that her name's Molly. He tucks her in, and we see on her bedside she's got pictures. One of them seems to be a family portrait with like the father and presumably the mother. In the other one, we see Ash, a younger Ash, Delia, and Oak.
Hmm. Interesting.
Interesting.
So yeah, he leaves. He tells her, "Keep me close in your dreams." That'll come back. So we go to the ruins. He's taking some pictures. Could this be related to the unknown? Who knows? And then we see a little fragment of a little pea-shaped thing. And then, oh, what's a strange pea-shaped Pokemon? P is in the letter, not as in urine.
As in urine.
And then more fragments in a big chest, and they all start to glow, and a bunch of more of these letters appear, and then he disappears into a void of unknown.
It's
And the
the
other guy,
unknown
and then Skylar goes, "Professor, Professor, Professor,
professor. Yeah, this
Snake, Snake, Snake,
bacon strips, bacon
bacon
strips.
strips, bacon strips,
That would
bacon,
have been
bacon, bacon,
totally
bacon."
different. So, do you want to explain the unknown yet, or should we wait
Un,
on that?
uh, let's wait a little
Let's
bit.
wait a little. So
Let's wait a
then
touch.
we cut back to the mansion, and Molly's running, and she thinks her father has returned, but Skylar is talking to the butler. He's got a box and a computer and some bad news.
Oh no! I shall tell the missus. I shall tell the madam. I'm a butler. I'm a
Alfred.
butler. Call me Jeeves. So yeah, Dad's dead. So
Gone missing. Yeah.
unfortunate. Yep. She's looking around in his research, sees the fragments that killed her father. Starts playing with them. Makes out words: Mama, Papa, Molly. Aw, family's all together
It
again. Oh,
honestly, this was like an interesting strategy from the butler and Skylar to be like, the last thing the dad was doing was playing with these ancient runes,
Scrabble tiles.
these ancient Scrabble tiles, and then he went missing. Let's just give him to his daughter, his like 5-year-old daughter, like whatever.
What harm could that do?
Yeah. It's
Little
not
did they know.
correlated, right?
A lot. They start glowing again, the Scrabble tiles, and in the ruins, a bunch of the unknowns start coming out of the portal. Some portal into another portal in the sky.
And these things are CGI as fuck.
Oh yeah, they're cool looking. They're sweet. I loved the random 3D-ification of them.
They're the main thing that's CGI'd in this movie. There's a little bit of background stuff later, but the unknown are CGI the whole time, I think. But most other stuff is classic 2D anime.
Yeah. So they go into the sky portal and then come out in the mansion. They just want to play, apparently.
Let's play.
Big portal grows, starts crystallizing the mansion from the inside out. Uh-oh. Keeps the adults away from Molly, blocks them out, and she remembers Papa as Entei, wants him back. So the mansion continues to crystallize as Entei appears, who she thinks is her Papa. And he just kind of goes along with it. It's like, oh, okay, sure.
He sounds a little bit like her father, but a little bit deeper, a little bit bolder, but he sounds a little bit like her father.
I would assume it was the same voice actor.
Yeah, I think so. I also, this is where I kind of noticed I like the voice acting in this movie. I thought it was well done, especially the dad / Entei really fits.
Yes, it is the same voice actor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, just to confirm it.
Who did the voice, Kellan?
Dan Green.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar. I think he's done other anime stuff.
Oh, he was Captain Aiden as well.
Oh, is he? He's in Yu-Gi-Oh. That's it. He's Yami Yugi. That
he's also sense. Knuckles in all Sonic games from 2005 to 2009.
Oh, that makes so much sense, Kellan.
That's
Knuckles
much more notable.
And Yami Yugi. That's more notable than Yami Yugi.
Yep. Yeah, Entei just kind of goes along with it. He's like, I'm your dad? Okay. And then we see the gang traveling into unknown territory, and they meet a woman looking for trainers. Brock wants to be her boyfriend, and she's just like, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
And she challenges Ash to a battle.
And we see right away she has an A-palm. That's the first thing we see of her. We have seen A-palms around a little bit, but it hasn't been featured yet, right?
Have
but it's a little purple monkey.
Yeah, little purple monkey guy. He was in Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I think this is its like actual anime debut.
Really?
Yeah, from what I'm seeing.
Or maybe in movie 2?
Maybe it was in that.
Nah, probably not. I don't know.
I don't think so. Bulbapedia says Spell of the Unknown is its first appearance.
Oh, there you go. Let's believe that then. Okay.
Little purple monkey guy with a hand on his tail.
I always liked A-palm. I don't think it's very good to play with, though, is it?
It's not great, no.
But it's a cute design.
It evolves in Gen 4, and Ambipom's pretty good.
Oh, the evolution's good?
Pretty solid, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
But we can talk about some of these random other Pokemon at a later date when they're actually featured,
We'll just tease for now. So
but A-palm's a cute little guy.
The fight goes on. I thought Lisa kind of looked like a Gen 3 character because she's got the bandana. Isn't the
teasing it?
Yeah, aren't the Gen 3 what's the word, trainers? The main trainers, don't they have bandanas like that?
Yeah, May has a bandana. Brendan has like this hat that makes him look like he has white hair, and everyone thought he had white hair.
Everyone thought he had white hair, yeah.
From the Sprite, yeah. So we get this battle to this really fun remix of the Johto Journey's theme song. Yep, it's a great time.
This battle rules too. Like it's quick, and we can just quickly go over it. We don't need to go like shot by shot. But the animation here is awesome, and it's very much evocative of that Donphan battle from movie 1, right?
Exactly.
Where it's like intro, music's playing, and they're like, look, we spent money on this. There's like, because the animation's super fluid. It's so much less turn-based than the anime, where the regular TV show is like, this Pokemon uses Razor Leaf, then this Pokemon uses Stun Spore, right? It's like feels turn-based. This is like they're actually fighting. They're like jumping around each other.
Yeah, they actually were given a budget this time for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
$3 to $16 million, which is a very wide range, and I don't trust that.
That's like looking up a YouTuber's net worth, where one side is like PewDiePie is worth $2 billion. The other one is like, PewDiePie is bankrupt.
So yeah, we got this fun battle to this fun remix of the theme song. Start off Totodile versus Granbull. Snubbles evolved form. Big bulldog guy.
Yep.
Water gun knocks Granbull into a tree, out immediately. Out comes Girafarig versus Chikorita. Girafarig.
Girafarig, who we're going to meet next week officially.
Yes. Versus Chikorita. Girafarig jumps. Chikorita dodges. Gets hit on the side or something. Dodges some side beams. Razor Leaf gets dodged. Hit hard by a side beam. Chikorita's out. 1-1. And it's Apom versus Noctowl. Apom gets smacked. They go after each other. Apom's out. Quick one. Then Butterfree versus Bulbasaur. Fine Whip gets blocked. Butterfree sleep powders it. Gusts it up. Bulbasaur's out. Cyndaquil versus Mankey's next. They clash up. Big flamethrower takes Mankey out. Another quick one. And then final one, Quagsire versus Pikachu, where Thunderbolt does nothing. Thank God, because Quagsire is a ground type.
Yeah.
Well done, Joe. You finally got it. Pikachu tackles, gets hit back, water gunned into the swing. He uses the swing, the motion, the
momentum?
The momentum, that's the word. The momentum of the swing to launch himself in the air, go for a big headbutt. And we get a real fun, it ends the song, and you go back into the actual movie, because Pikachu hits Quagsire, and we get a nice dong sound effect. And they both go down.
Yeah. I mean, it was a tough matchup for Pikachu, so good job.
Yeah, fun sequence. Very fun sequence.
Yeah, good intro to kind of the bulk of the movie here now. So, cut out of that, all the Pokemon are eating together, no harm, no foul. The trainers respect each other, so Lisa's eating with the gang, and all the Pokemon are chumming out too, eating with each other. It's very nice.
Except Bramble's kind of scaring Totodile.
Oh, that's kind of
funny.
Yeah. This is Ash's 5th battle this week, so he's been really pumped up. And they're looking about going to Greenfield. Basically, Brock's wondering where a Poké Center is. Lisa tells him closest place is Greenfield. Misty has always wanted to go there. And Lisa confirms that apparently it's very beautiful. It's known for beautiful fields and a huge mansion. Ooh, okay, that's interesting.
Everything in Greenfield is beautiful. And so Brock thinks, oh, can't wait to see the girls here in Greenfield.
Oh, boy.
We see it from atop the hill. What the fuck's going on? It's totally crystallized.
Yeah, horror story time.
What is that about? And so Team Rocket's looking in, and Jesse's like, Greenfield's just as I imagined it. Beautiful fields of flowers that turn into a bizarre crystal wasteland that obliterates the entire... Hey, what's going on?
I thought Greenfield was supposed to be pretty. It looks horrendous. And then Meowth goes, not only that, it looks bad.
It looks bad. Love that.
That 3-line exchange is a sweet sentence for me. I thought that was really fun.
Wobbuffet pops out. Wow! And things look bad enough without you.
Aww.
And so things are starting to continue to crystallize further as we see the gang again. We see Jenny drive by, a news reporter. 3, 2, 1, hit it! They don't say that, I don't think. Something's very wrong. Officials are baffled. And then, hey, look, Delia's watching from home. We see Delia.
I liked the voice acting of the reporter as well. So, the reporter, although a smaller role, and the dad had both jumped out at me as oh, there's some solid voice acting in this.
And then it seems Delia knows this researcher that disappeared. His name is Spencer. Why does she know who that is?
Yeah.
And we see photos of that photo from before, and then another one of Oak and Spencer and Delia in a farm girl outfit that I feel like you probably liked.
Look, I'm going to have to save it, Kellan, because there's a lot of Delia in this movie, and I can't let it all loose right at the start, okay? Okay. We don't want to become a Coomer podcast, all right?
So let me go to Oak and Tracy. Tracy cameo, everybody.
He's alive!
What happened? What the fuck?
Oh, my God. The reanimated corpse of Tracy Sketchet is there also. His eyes have been placed back in.
Oak's been studying necromancy this whole time, actually.
Necromancy and cybernetics. This is actually a bizarre reconstruction and android Tracy. He's really playing God this time. In a later season, they're actually going to have to defeat Oak because he turns into some sort of weird world tree god monstrosity.
He goes full Eggman on their asses.
Yes, he's the bioweapon. Live and learn. Okay, come on.
Living on the edge of tomorrow.
Blah, blah, blah.
So, yeah, Oak and Tracy are watching. Spencer was one of his best students, and so he looks at some of the research, and this research is real messed up on the screen. First off, all the times that unknown is mentioned, it's spelled UNKNOWN, like how we would spell unknown, instead of UNOWN, how Pokemon is spelled.
Oh, they didn't know that yet. It hadn't been discovered. So
They
it's
knew.
literally unknown at the time.
But the research is also like really wrought with bad grammar and whatnot.
Oh, really? I didn't
I
dive
wrote
into
it
the
down.
frame. Okay.
I wrote it down.
Okay, interesting.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Point 1, as unknown, had very timid and careful, spelled with 2 L's, character. Unknown do not want to go out to the external world. Point 2, unknown is still Pokemon. Bracket creature.
Okay. That line is beast. That's a hilarious line.
Point 3,
Unknown is still Pokemon.
Point 3, to have power perceiving sense of other creature, parentheses, including human being, end parentheses. However, it's not power like telepathy. They misspelled telepathy. They mixed up the T and the H.
Okay.
But just to feel with keen sense.
Ah.
Point 4, sharpening keen sense of wild animal.
This is actually kind of crazy. I didn't
And
realize
point
it was
5.
so bad.
Unknown speaks each other over the electric wave.
You know what, Kellan? This makes this scene absolutely hilarious to me because Oak is like, he's a brilliant researcher. He even sent me his last research, and it's absolutely riveting. And it's like I researcher, baby, I
Me
make
smart. Unknown. Cool.
how make Babby send bombs.
How is Babby form?
Yeah, how is Babby form? Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think that this was what was shown in the Japanese. This was translated, and the 4Kids fucked it up pretty immensely.
Well, I do sometimes like to stress that fucking something up is sometimes just deprioritizing it. I think they did not care about this quick frame. Actually, even that, how the fuck were those grammar mistakes in there, Kellan? Like, that's actually kind of boggling. Like, because, like, I could see not putting much effort into it and just having some sentences, but you would at least, like, have them be sentences.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Unknown is still Pokemon.
Unknown is still Pokemon.
Anyway, so then we see a bunch of photos of a bunch of these different unknown shapes that we've never seen in the games or any other media, I believe.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Unknown is only ever A through Z and exclamation mark and question mark.
Oh, and some of these shapes are just out there. They're not
Just
like
random shit, yeah.
Okay. They don't seem to be on your
Yeah.
keyboard kind
Maybe
of thing.
they're other languages letters. Maybe.
Oh, that'd be neat. Yeah, I'm not
Possibly.
sure.
So yeah, we see a bunch of things unknown we never seen before. Delia comes in, talks about, are you watching the news, whatever? He's going to go to Greenfield. She is going to tag along because she's worried about Spencer and Molly. So we
Right,
go
yeah,
back to
and
Greenfield.
you kind of stress that she knows Spencer. There is sort of like a bit of an allusion to her being like childhood friends or school friends or something with Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
And also during the scene, she also references that something happened to Spencer Hale's wife 2 years ago. Like she was like, oh, after he went through 2 years ago. We don't actually ever really find out what that was.
Nope.
But she's not in the picture.
So there's more crystallization in Greenfield. The unknown really fucking everything up.
Yeah, they're flying around too. We get another little scene of that.
The gang and Lisa are there as Oak arrives with Delia. Pikachu's so happy to see Delia.
Oh, that's so cute.
So excited.
Jumps up with Delia, just loving it.
Delia's so excited to see Pikachu. And Nat's like, "What, Mom? What are you doing here?" And she's like, "Oh, hi, honey."
She's like, I don't give a fuck about you, but
She's
Pikachu.
there for Pikachu. So Pikachu just like rubs up against her boobs a bunch.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Molly and Entei watch from inside the big crystal palace. She looks at the photos of Spencer and Delia together, and she's like, "I want a mama too." Aw.
Yeah, and Entei's like,
Heartbreaking.
sounds good.
Bet.
Yeah, so she's watching through the TV. This isn't like a superpower. They're just watching the live TV report.
Yeah. So Spencer, we hear, worked with Oak for a while. Then he moved, became a famous Pokemon expert. He and his family visited a few years ago to Pallet. Let me see that picture again with young Ash. And then his wife disappeared at some point. and now he has as well. Something is up.
Something is up indeed. And now we jump into action pretty quickly here. Entei starts running across the fields, and it's like crystallizing the ground as it goes. It's running at them. And Brock is like, that's some weird kind of Pokemon. And then Entei's like, you are Mama!
You are Mama.
Which was funny.
So let's talk Entei. We haven't talked Entei yet.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So Entei, one of the 3 legendary beasts of Johto, the legendary
Beasts.
trio.
Not a dog,
beasts.
a beast.
Beast, quote unquote, not the official term. I don't think there is an official term for this trio.
Oh, okay. But colloquially, that's kind of what the fan base calls them.
That's kind of like the fan term, yeah. Beasts, and then there's like dogs, cats. I like calling them the legendary hamsters. I think that's just fun. That comes from an old thing from way back in the day.
If they're just giant hamsters.
Yeah.
I mean, Entei in a hamster wheel is a pretty funny image.
But Entei's one of them. Entei's fucking cool. I've always loved Entei.
So, remind me, is he kind of based on a lion? Is that what people think?
I believe so.
Lion is a very loose term, though. He's like a little bit doggish, a little bit lionish. He's a large brown, red, and white beast. He has the lion fangs. He's kind of got that lion mouth thing going on.
So, this trio, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, were all designed by, I'm going to butcher this, Munio Saito. And he has said that about the design process from Bulbapedia behind Entei as, quote, a hairy rock-like body, volcanic smoke rising from behind its head, a king with a dignified beard. Entei's design was coming together. You could say it was basically like a lion. I didn't want it to be simply an animal, so I settled on a silhouette that could look like a dog or a cat. So it's kind of both.
It's kind of both. That's great insight because I know what you mean. Or I know what he means. Like when you look at it, yeah, the silhouette is lionish, but it's not a lion.
No.
Right? It's too far removed to be like, oh, it's just a lion. Type wise, is this thing fire, Kellan?
Yep, just fire.
Just plain fire, okay.
Yep.
And fairly viable in game?
Yeah, I mean, majority of legendaries are.
Majority of legendaries have some kind of punch to pack.
Above average stats, yeah.
Yeah.
But Entei, it was just has always been my favorite of the 3 beasts. I don't know. There's just something about it. I like the flowing smoke on its back, chains around its legs.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I do think I think they are solid designs. The 3
they're
of
all
them.
Great.
You know, Swookin. How do you say it? I can never say it. Suicune. It has this kind of mysterious look, right? You're like, oh, is it a Patronus? What is it? But this one, Entei, is just like, I'm here. I'm daddy. You know?
Yeah.
The legendary daddy type Pokemon.
Oh, don't like that. Anything else on Entei? It's cool Pokemon.
No, I think we can jump back into the plot
Volcano
if you're
Pokemon,
good.
Yeah. So, so Entei, you are Mama. He takes Delia, leaves, runs away. Kind of hypnotizes her first. Pikachu's holding on to the tail.
With something. But he's getting away though. Like he's making quick ground.
Yeah, he's a fast motherfucker.
And so Pikachu's trying to shock Entei. It doesn't do anything. And Pikachu's thrown to the ground. This is while the whole gang is kind of running after. And at that point, Brock is like, tells Ash, like, stop. You're not catching there. We're going to have to retreat and strategize. And Ash is frustrated.
Yeah, well, his mom just got kidnapped, so...
it's a tough situation. Mom napped.
Mom napped, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what happened. So that's the 20-minute mark, Kellan.
Ooh, okay. Good spot.
All right. So let's do a quick literary hour. I don't suppose... Kellan, you know shit all about comic books, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you wouldn't have known this kind of infamous... I guess it's mostly an X-Men story, but it involved a bunch of other characters. Maybe we'll call it an Avengers story, The House of M. Have you ever heard of that book?
Absolutely not.
2005 graphic novel. It's pretty good for those of you who are into that stuff. Now, I don't remember the exact plot, so I'm going to try to I'm going to use Wikipedia, but also try to just ad-lib the part that I think is important. There's this whole thing with, like, Magneto, and he's got 2 kids, okay? Magneto has Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch has the ability to, like, modify reality. So she's kind of like this, like, can change things all around you, enchantress sort of character. I don't remember who it is who exactly dies, if it's like Magneto or someone else. Someone will have to correct me. I think it's Quicksilver, actually. But anyways, she's like freaking out, right? That something has gone totally wrong. And then what she does is she says, I wish there was no mutants. I'm probably fucking this up so bad. And basically now everybody like wakes up later, and the world is completely different. There aren't mutants, or at least there aren't like this distinguish of mutants. I think like everybody is a mutant or nobody is a mutant, whatever. But the whole point is that it's a story about her creating like a fantasy world, but it's on like the scale of the whole world. They're all in this like suspended sleep. And I think the only person who knows that it's different is Wolverine or possibly Spider-Man. I know both of them are kind of like working to figure out what's going on, and they can like wake up other people, yada yada yada. But it's this idea of a young girl, I mean Scarlet, which is quite a bit older than Molly, having a totally legit family problem and dealing it with like global escapism that causes pretty big issue for those around her.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good comparison.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Dream worlds. Hell yeah.
Okay.
What are other dream worlds? I can't think of any. There's a few. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a cliche. Oftentimes this stuff though comes with the kid having a coma. That's like where they kind of the other cliche is. And this is sort of an inversion of that, where the transformation's happening in the real world, or some sort of suspended version of the real world.
Yeah. All right, let's rate this first 20 minutes, shall we?
Okay, so this is a 4-4. The plastic ping pong picture of objective rankings. We're going to pull 2 categories at random from the picture. Rank the episode based on that. Kellan, what is the first category?
Our first category will be... Oh, look at that. I kind of wish we got this a little later, but the anime mom energy.
10.
I don't know. It's a 10 later in the movie.
Oh, we gotta burn it now?
But not now, yeah.
That's true. We don't get the scene yet where she's on the bed and we see her legs. You're right. 9. But who noticed? Who noticed? I don't
even think it's close to that. I think like she's there, she sees Ash, she doesn't really care about Ash, she cares about Pikachu.
If this was in an episode and we got the Delia hugging Pikachu moment, we would give it high.
It would be higher. I still don't think it's a 9.
I also think it's a whole movie about parental abandonment. I think it's a 9. I think Entei is both dad and mom.
Entei is mother.
Entei is mother, yes.
I'm just gonna say 7. I'm gonna go 7. So that's an 8 for that.
I'm sticking with 9.
All right. Second category. I still wish if we had gotten it in either of the next 2 sections, I would have gone 10.
Okay.
Just for what it's worth.
It means something to me.
Second category is Pay It Forward, Black Parade enthusiasts.
Okay, so this is which, if characters know the lyrics to The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance, well...
I think Spencer would.
I think Spencer would too. I think
he went through a phase.
Type of guy who would maybe try to pretend he doesn't, but...
No, I think he would embrace his emo phase.
Does. You think he would?
Like, look at that hair. Look at the hair, man. Come on.
I mean, I can see this version of Entei being into it too.
That too, yeah. Entei fucks with it.
Entei fucks with it. I don't think any of the other characters do, though. Got to draw a line somewhere.
What about the news crew, the reporter?
Oh, the reporter does. Yeah.
I think the reporter does as well.
The reporter does, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because you know what she looks like? She looks like a sort of like a cleaned up professional version of someone who was an emo kid in high school.
Yeah, I see it.
So this is okay.
These are pretty good.
But this is definitely sticking around. But this isn't knocking it out of the park. I'm gonna go 6.5.
I'm around that same spot. I'm gonna go 6.2.
Okay, was not a bad start to the movie ratings.
6.35 for that. You'll have to hold on for that average until we're finished the movie. Ooh. Okay, back into it. So we're in the palace. Molly has her mama now and her papa all together again. She just wants to stay here forever. And Entei's like, if that is what you wish. The crystals continue to take over the land. Entei calls it her world.
Well, and the Unown are kind of like singing during this too. So it's like now the crystal's growing. They get the windmill. Not the windmill. Hell will the town make bread. And different trees. And yeah, Entei's happy if Molly's happy. So there is some sort of subservient thing going on here, and also wish fulfillment. Like the Entei seems to exist to
Mhm.
service like Molly's happiness, and it's a childhood naive happiness where like Molly doesn't know what's best for her, right? And that,
Absolutely.
but Entei's not here to dictate that. He's here to listen to her, and so
Yeah.
that's sort of the stage we've set.
He's just a wish fulfiller. He's not interested in the morality or being a good parent, Entei. Come on.
Correct.
So, yeah, so we go back to Oak and the gang. They're looking into things. It's Entei and the Unknown. They're all inside the mansion. We should probably talk Unknown, shouldn't we?
Yeah, you didn't bring you didn't do
I meant to do
your
it.
Kellan thing on those yet.
I meant to do it when I was talking about the Unknown research, and then I forgot because we were laughing about that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Unknown. Unknown is they refer to it as a legendary Pokemon in this movie a lot. It is not. It's quite shit. Um, that's Unknown. Yeah,
So there's been other times
sucks.
where they use like the term legendary or like
Yeah,
similar things. Like what is Dragonite again?
it's a
Pseudo
pseudo
legendary
legendary.
is
Yeah.
unknown as pseudo legendary.
God no,
No. So
no.
okay, so that this is just well one off strange use of that word. Like there's no pattern in other
Yeah,
Pokemon lore.
I don't. No, Unknown is not referred to as a legendary Pokemon in games. It is just a weird Pokemon that has a weird thing going on with it.
And it's basically a Pokemon that, in game, anyways, exists to rationalize this one location, which is the ruin of Elf. Is that what it's
Yep,
called?
correct.
Oh, right. So they're hieroglyphics. They're the hieroglyphic Pokemon.
Essentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're supposed to be letters, like in the game, anyways. You can catch 26 different versions of
28.
them. 28. Okay, right. Because you said exclamation mark and question mark?
Yep. So then you can make Japanese Pokemon titles out of them.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Dance the Steps of Love.
Double exclamation mark.
But Unknown, stat wise, not good. Very bad. And move wise, it gets Hidden Power, and that's it. It gets one move.
And Hidden
And his
Power is a rock move.
Hidden Power is a move that can have any type based on a Pokemon's individual hidden values
Oh,
and
so
IVs.
it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick
It's a
Pokemon.
gimmick move, essentially. And yeah, Unknown is basically a gimmick Pokemon. Hidden Power got taken out as of Sword and Shield, which no one was happy about because Hidden Power is actually kind of interesting. It gives a lot of Pokemon a lot more variance and moves.
Hmm.
But yeah, it can be any type prior to I think Gen 5 or Gen 6. It can be varying power from 31 to 70. And then yeah, in Gen 6 it changes just to a 60 base power special move. Hidden Power itself was a neat move and people liked it, and then it got taken out. But Unknown itself has always been total ass.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't remember these things being.
It's not usable.
Yeah, I don't remember these things being actual. Like nobody uses them, but
No.
like I said, I think they exist solely for this location and to give it
Hmm.
some depth. These ruins of Elf, and so do you think like they don't name the ruins that Spencer gets lost in, but are they those same ruins? Do you
I
think?
don't believe so. I think we see the ruins of Elf sometime in the next season.
Oh, okay.
So, but I
Okay,
don't
so
believe that these
it's
are.
just a one off, but hieroglyphic Pokemon, that's basically it.
Yeah, they're
And
lore Pokemon
they're lore
basically.
Pokemon, absolutely. And they're kind of compelling as lore
Yeah.
Pokemon. Though it's never really fleshed out that well, is it?
Mm,
I mean, we'll see.
not
We'll
terribly.
see,
No.
but I don't think it is.
I always enjoyed catching all the forms though. Like that was fun. But
Especially at the time, it was a neat addition. Like
hmm
it was interesting enough for you to go, okay, what's that about?
neat.
Yeah, that's kind of it. But
Yeah.
and you know maybe a little bit surprising that they made them a important part of this movie. But considering that we get so much Entei, it's kind of okay, right?
Yeah, I feel like they were made for like a movie. They were like, we're gonna make this thing that you can use for a movie later, and we'll put it in the games too, just
Right.
for that. So, anyway, I think that's enough on Unknown. It took more time than it deserves. So,
Right. So yeah,
for how
so
bad it is.
the scene we were talking about was Oak telling them about Entei. Skylar is with them as well, and he's telling them that he thinks the unknown are at the core of this. The unknown he thinks have created the Entei, and that Molly's somewhere inside the mansion.
Yep. And then we go to the Charcific Valley.
This is huge, folks.
Oh my god. We see Charla and Liza watching the news, and then we see Charizard peeking in from outside. He knows something's up. Something's not good.
Also, the reporter calls Delia Delia in the news
Hmm.
story. It's like, okay. Or is it Lisa who says that? I don't know. One of them
I don't
says
remember.
Delia.
Back in Greenfield, they're trying to get through this crystal. A bulldozer tries to power through, gets through some of it, but Molly gets upset, and so the Unown make bigger, harder crystals that topple the dozer, nearly killing the driver.
It's a close call, folks.
Yeah. And then back to Oak and the gang. They're still researching. The Unown have to be behind it all. Then another email from Molly, another video email telling them to stay away. She has her parents. She's happy.
She's got Mama
Be
and Papa.
Stay away from us. And then they're like, wait, but her parents are gone. What does that mean?
Yeah, Oak and Misty are super confused about this. They're like, but there are no parents. Ash and Pikachu are concerned. They're being a little bit more pragmatic. They're like, well, I don't really care about the logistics. I do know that they have my mother, and this is a problem.
And so in the palace, Molly rides around on Entei, adorable, like when she piggybacked on her father. Ah,
Heartstrings being pulled.
So Ash and Pikachu have ducked out to go into the palace. Or yeah, he's gonna tackle all of the crystals, basically try to get through them. Brock and Misty are gonna come with him as well.
Of course.
And Apom and Lisa come into. She gives him her Poke Gear so they can communicate.
Yeah, so they can call back to the Poke Center. She does tell him, I ain't no narc, conveying that she's not going to snitch on them to Oak.
Yeah. So they're trudging through a stream. Should be able to use this path to get to the mansion.
And it's not crystal. It's the one thing throughout that's not crystal. It's the stream. I guess even crystals need a running water supply.
So Team Rocket are watching from the balloon. There must be some rare Pokemon in this palace if that's where the Torps are going.
And did you get this wordplay exchange?
Yes, this was a great segment.
It's a who's on first.
Yeah. They're like, and the only way to get there must be by waiting. Jesse's like, that's right. But they're walking through the water.
They're waiting. No, they're walking.
They're waiting. How could they be waiting if they're walking? They're walking through the stream? Yeah. Then they're waiting.
I also really liked that joke. That was good.
So dumb. But Entei shoots them down. Team Rockets crash.
Yeah,
they
so
don't
they
get through
smash
their line.
into the crystals. They're now inside the structure. They're above a long fissure, right? So they could fall to their demise. And it's
this
just
is like James's idea of decorating.
It's just weird crystalline entrapments. It's quite bizarre looking.
I didn't know how to describe it.
It's like being inside
like
of
rods
a brain.
Of crystals. Yeah, rods of crystals going across the abyss with like nodules of something hanging around as well. It was weird.
So they can't go down, so they're going to try to climb up.
Well, they can go down, and it'll only take about 3 seconds if they jump.
And they'd be way down.
Yep. So news report, they're seeing nothing can break through the fortress-like structure of crystals, except for that Noctowl, apparently.
Yeah, so they zoom in, and they do see Ash's Noctowl flying up a small little waterfall close to the mansion, basically that same stream coming out. The Noctowl then brings Bulbasaur and Chikorita up to the top so that they can pull people up using Vine Whip. But this is the narc situation. Oak now sees Ash climbing up. Oh, no.
It's a shame they didn't have the Zora armor. They could have just swam up the waterfall, you know?
Right, or the...
It's got to be around here somewhere.
Or the Zora mask from Majora's Mask. I guess they didn't have waterfalls in that one, but...
No. So, but yeah, Oak's pissed off. Molly's confused. Delia sees Ash's face, and she snaps out of it.
So like, she breaks out of the trance, but man, Delia's awesome. She's clever. She just starts faking it. She's like, your wish is my command, little girl.
But for a brief moment, she's like, Ashketchum, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah. So now she's back, but she is not going to, confront Molly or Entei right away. She's pretending that she's still Mama, and she's going to be a little bit more wry in her tactics here. Basically, you can see that a lot has gone through her head already, and she's going to try to figure this out cautiously.
And so the gang's all up in the palace. They got up. Oak and Lisa call them. Oak is pissed.
You little
Very
bitch,
upset.
get back here right now.
Skylar asks if they've seen the Unown. None yet. They may have an explanation. But they say, Unown have the ability to read the thoughts of other life forms. We believe the Unown can create new realities, altering the world using thoughts and dreams. The Unown may be tapping into the imagination of Professor Hale's daughter. That crystal fortress could be one of Molly's wishes made real by the Unown.
Yeah, so
Good
this,
explanation.
yeah, we get it's basically a ton of exposition about what exactly is happening, in case you haven't been paying attention. But now the characters are up to date with the plot, or at least the speculation of the plot. But Skylar's smart; he's bang on. So the gang need to figure out how to break in, right? So they're at this part where the
This is
crystalline is blocking now the main entrance into the mansion. So they're going to start with flamethrowers. So we get Cyndaquil and Vulpix starting to create a hole. But one flamethrower isn't enough, right? It repairs itself right after. So what they do is like they do a double flamethrower and then they follow it up with Misty and Ash using Staryu and Totodile to then hit with Water Gun. And it's that rapid cooling that seems to hold it in place for a bit. And the gang can just jump through right at the last minute.
That's so cool. They use the water guns like a jet stream. It's so sick.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, they use the Water Gun torrent, push themselves through. Ash grabs Staryu and Totodile right at the last minute.
Oh, sweet. Totodile dances. Great.
Hooray!
Gotta love it. And so as they start climbing up the big stairs, the Unown shift reality to make the stairs more dangerous. It's freaky shit. Eventually they get up into a big, sprawling, beautiful field.
Ooh, grassy field. So this is quite the storybook realm. It is not just a mansion anymore, but any realm you see fit can be in here.
Meanwhile, Team Rocket has busted into the Unown room somehow. Yeah, it's like, they kind of look like alphabet soup, but without the soup.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then James, with one of the greatest lines ever said in this entire fucking show, I haven't seen this many strange letters since the last time I placed a personal ad.
That was a good joke.
Brilliant. Oh, it's so good.
So many strange letters. I want to hear what people were writing to James.
Oh, great joke. Can't believe they put that in a kid's movie.
James, 24, male, California. Just looking for a friend or lover, whatever happens.
Or more.
Yeah, or more.
So, Molly wants to be in a Pokemon battle. Doesn't know if she can. Entei's like, you can, if that's what you wish.
You could do anything. You're a 5-year-old, but I'm a giant lion beast.
So he walks through the floor.
Yep.
Just cause, I guess. And starting to soar through all this weird space shit. Molly, like, materializes Molly onto his back. She doesn't know if she's old enough to have Pokemon. And so he ages her into, like, a teenager, young adult version of Molly.
Yeah, like a young adult. Yeah. Like I don't know, like 18 to 20 kind of thing.
That's what I
mean, you
think.
can't really tell ages in an anime, but I think that's what they were going for, was a young adult. And so they run into the group that Molly, this adult manifested Molly, and Entei meet the group and ask right away, are you Pokemon trainers? That's what they want to know.
Yeah, she wants a battle. Ash just wants his mom. He's really pissed off about all this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brock's the one that figures this out. This is Molly, but just older. Brock steps in to battle her to basically distract them, as so Ash and Misty can head up the
rest
stairs.
of you run. I'll take on this one.
So we're going to do a 3-on-3. It's going to be Zubat versus Flaffy from this really cool materialized blue ball that I really liked. And I wish we could have that in the games.
It's a crystal.
Yeah.
It's basically the same crystals that make in the fortress. There's sort of like a version of that has created the Pokeball that she's using.
It's sick. I want it. So Zubat, Supersonic, confuses it. Flaffy gets wing attacked, kind of dodges it, goes for the headbutt, Thundershock, Zubat down pretty quickly. And second up is Vulpix versus Teddy Ursa. Dynamic Punch hits hard. Quick Attack versus Fury Swipes, boom, 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 match. Brock notes the match may not last very long. And in the background, we see Team Rocket sneaking up the stairs.
Sneaking up the stairs behind. Oh, it's like a storybook land made by a 5-year-old. And Jesse goes, that's ridiculous.
So one last hit from Teddy Ursa takes out Vulpix. And then it's time, Brock says it's time to start to rock and roll.
Rock
the
and
best
roll.
way to do that is with Onyx. Just how I like to rock and roll. And that makes Molly laugh. And he's like, oh, I made you laugh? Oh, that's my first victory today.
Yeah, he's kind of risen up, this adult Molly. She is still a 5-year-old. Brock.
So Phanpy is her last Pokemon. Phanpy, gotta love Phanpy. Super fucking cute. Rollout sends Onyx flying immediately. Which I believe, because Onyx sucks. So.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah.
Animaonics sometimes just looks like he should be so much better.
Oh, that'd be
And
so
this
cool.
is like an especially small Famfi. Like
Yeah.
it looks so tiny, but it wins easily. So we cut to Ash and Misty. They're continuing up the stairs to the mansion. Just a quick scene. Cut to Dahlia. She's looking through Molly's storybook and trying to figure things out. She's asking Molly if she had seen this book, and that's where Molly kind of gives her some of the backstory that she had read this book all the time. Oh, by the way, there's like two Mollys right now. There's like the adult
Yeah.
Molly who's like a projection, and then there is like actual Molly who is still with Dahlia.
Very confusing.
A little.
Just a touch. So yeah, she's alone a lot. She's very lonely. So Delia kind of gets it now. And so Ash and Misty have appeared on a beach now. For some reason, there's a beach here, and then adult Molly appears again, wants another battle, and Entei's like, she cannot be beaten. She is invincible. Brrr. So Misty's gonna take this
Misty's like, okay, bet she's gonna take on the fight. Molly then is like, you know what? Like, you guys are kids. I can be a kid.
Well, okay, so because Misty's like, I even used to be. She says used to be the Cerulean City gym leader, and so Molly's like, wait,
yeah.
you used to be a gym leader at this age, and so she's like, oh wow, I don't have to be this old. I can be younger, and so she like goes into like preteen, closer to the gang's age.
Right. So we've seen Molly at like all different ages now.
Yeah.
And this is about the 40-minute mark, Kellan. If we want to take another break right before the Molly Misty battle.
Sure.
Okay, so literary hour. I'm gonna go with this trope from TVTropes.com called "Pretend to be brainwashed," and this is whenever a character somehow avoids being brainwashed and then has to pretend that they actually are brainwashed to not give up the ruse. And I'm gonna pick a Star Wars book called Star Wars Legends: The Truce at Baccarat, in which Luke manages to use the Force to free some character Dev from the brainwashing of someone else named C. Rook. But Dev is like still surrounded, so he's like pretending that he's not under the influence and is trying to suppress signs of nervousness because like you just wake up and you're surrounded by baddies. Well, what are you gonna do? Delia plays it so calm and clean in this though. Props to Delia. And yeah, isn't she hot in this? She's hot in this part too. I mean, she's on the bed. You're like,
oh my god.
She takes good care of those calves, Kellan. I gotta say, those cartoon
Christ.
calves.
Okay, so moving on from that, I've got two for you. Two literary hours. One
nice.
For that trope. That episode of Community where Pierce tries to use hypnotherapy on Britta to get her to stop smoking,
right?
And she doesn't fall for it at all. But eventually it does work because you can't help but imagine Pierce in a hot tub when she goes to smoke.
She's so turned off.
Yeah. And then second one, not from the trope, just based on the fact that Delia and Entei is a weird parenting combo.
Oh god.
Cool Cat saves the kids.
And what is that, Kellan?
Oh my god, that is a rabbit hole you have to go down. It is a wild ride. So Cool Cat is a mascot for like children PSAs essentially or something like that. Created by one Derek Savage.
God, I googled this. This is horrifying.
Or in the movie, is called Daddy Derek.
No.
Yep.
Derek.
He is the father to Cool Cat, who is this giant anthropomorphic cat who is a guy in a giant cat suit. And he is married to Cool Cat's mom, who is also a giant anthropomorphic cat person in a cat suit. And it's just a great comparison because it's a human and this giant cat who are married and had a kid. And it is something.
Daddy Derek is married to the anthropomorphic female cat, not Cool Cat. Cool Cat
not
is
Cool
their
Cat.
son.
Cool Cat's the son, yes.
I'm looking at the cover of this director's cut from 2022. It has
the lines. What is a director's cut?
It has the lines "coolest kids movie ever" on it, and it also has the anti-bullying kids gun safety movie.
Yeah,
which,
it is wild.
What a concept.
It is one of the dumbest things, one of the worst movies, but in a way, like, it's so bad it's good, in like the same way like The Room is. Oh, it's brilliant.
This is getting weirder, Kellan. Apparently Eric Estrada is in it. Do you know who that is?
Vaguely, but yeah, it's weird
he's
that
from
he's there.
An old sitcom drama called Chips, where he played Ponch, one of the cops, Ponch. That's what the most random celebrity
And Vivica A. Fox is there too.
Get out. Oh my god, she is. This is
Yeah.
weird, Kellan. This is very weird.
You need to do some research on this one. It is crazy shit.
I'm disturbed, Kellan, but
It is so funny.
quite interested.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, you rotted my brain after I rotted yours.
Go check out Cool Cat Saves the Kids. It's incredible.
Yes, everyone, go check out Cool Cat Saves the Kids. What's even more disturbing is it's 95 minutes. It's longer than the movie we're watching.
Yep. It's more. This movie's more of like a compilation, I think, of like a few of his shorts.
A bunch of PSAs.
Yeah, just kind of stitched together. So yeah, it's wild. Ugh.
Yeah,
anyway.
That sounds wild.
There's a point where Cool Cat goes to the Hollywood Parade.
I thought you were gonna say Cool Cat goes to the moon.
No, that's next year.
Cool Cat in space.
Oh, anyway,
Isn't
that's
space
Cool Cat.
great, kids? There's no drugs in space.
Let's put Cool Cat on the list of random shit we'll talk about later.
Okay, so
right,
let's
rate
get
this
to
next
the
20.
part of this next chunk. You're gonna pull some categories for us. Kellan.
First category is not going to be great. It's Pokemon variety.
I mean, in this chunk, we do get Ash's squad a little bit more fleshed out because Knockout's new, and we get some of Misty's too. We get some of a bunch of what's his name's Brock's, and Molly has
we get
some.
Molly's,
and we get Molly's
ones,
weird Pokemon. She gets the Teddy Ursa, the
Flaffy,
and the Flaffy. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's not bad.
And Entei and the Unown. So that is not bad, actually.
Yeah, it's actually pretty solid. I'm gonna go 8.
Yeah, I'm up in that world. 8.2. So
that's 8.1 for that. Second one will be the character of the day, which I guess would be Molly.
Ooh, Molly,
She's,
yeah.
The antagonist. So.
Yeah, I think it's Molly. I like this kind of antagonist where it's sort of like you can understand where she's coming from.
Yeah.
It's somewhat unintentional. It's creating a crisis, but she's not necessarily a villain in the conventional sense. She's caught up in a lot of sort of complex issues, but she's a kid who doesn't really know how to navigate them.
For all of you who haven't taken an English course, the antagonist doesn't necessarily need to be a villain. It is just the person who is standing in the way of the goals of our protagonist.
Thanks, Teach.
You're welcome. I just like doing
don't take my SIGs away from me.
No, yeah, Molly's a good character. She's got like nuance but depth. She's got emotion. We know where she's coming from. We see why she's doing what she's doing. She's not unlikable. I think she's a well-written character.
I think she's well-written. I think maybe I could see someone not liking her just because she's like maybe a little bit annoying, but that's also like circumstantial.
Yeah. She's lost both of her parents.
Yeah.
Coping in the only way she can figure
in some
out.
Fantastical ways. And adult Molly is a little bit of an unsettling concept, which I mean fits because we're kind of in an unsettling little horrifying storybook land.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's very high for me.
I think this is pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna go 8.8.
8. I was thinking I'm gonna go flat 9.
Nice.
So it's 8.9 for that. This movie's doing not too hot, not too bad.
Not too bad. This is a good
far.
Movie.
Yeah. All right. So let's kick off that last chunk of the film, shall we? So we got a water Pokemon battle to get to. Molly floods the place.
You're right, and Misty's gonna fight. Yeah. So it's a water Pokemon only fight. Ash and Pikachu run up the stairs, and as the water is flooding, everyone thinks they're about to drown. But no, they can actually breathe underwater.
Oh, wait, this place isn't real.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Kingdra versus Goldeen. Very unfair advantage here for Kingdra.
Goldeen, really, Misty? You'd be better off with fucking Psyduck.
I've said it many times. Why did you get rid of Starmie? That was your best Pokemon. Why did you leave that one behind?
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
Anyway, but we get some really good music. It's like this mystical, but it's like deep sea. I really like.
Yeah, and it's kind of electronic. And throughout this whole sequence, it starts ramping up a little bit more. It gets kind of more beats to it.
It's a smoke screen and a headbutt. Hit Goldeen pretty hard, but it bounces back, goes for a Fury attack. Gets hit one more time though. It's out. Bye, Goldeen.
Cut to Team Rocket. They're wondering how they can breathe underwater, and they've decided to just keep going and not ask stupid questions. Meowth, though, breaks the fourth wall. Did you get this line?
Yeah. He wonders, will we get a bigger pot in the next movie?
So
You
this
think?
is like kind of a thing now. I think they almost always reference the fact that they're in a movie.
Yeah. I think there has been at least one of those every film.
Every
I think there
movie.
was
Yeah, I
one in
think
the
so.
second one.
I think so.
So it's gonna be Staryu versus Mantine next. Mantine's another new one, big manta ray. I really like
I'm
Mantine.
sure we'll meet that one in the show, right?
In the future, yeah.
Yeah.
Goes for a whirlpool, bubble beams. Staryu uses rapid spin to get out of it though, and then Mantine goes for takedown. Staryu tackles. They trade blows. Molly is just very happy about all of this. She's just
She's
having a
loving it.
blast. Meanwhile, Ash is continuing upwards. He eventually does find Delia, explains everything to her. Some fucking unknown or
Well,
messing
Deli
shit up.
explains things to him too. There's like a bit of
Yeah.
a back and forth about what's going on with Molly. Ash explains the unknown and how they're at the core of this crisis, and Delia just gives us a "oh dear."
So they gotta get out of there. She wakes Molly up and like, we gotta go. And then she's like, I'm not your mother. I'm
I'm
not your
Ash's
mama.
mother.
And Maury Povich comes in and he pulls out the card.
You are
She
not the
is
mother.
not the mother. And then the crowd
The
just
crowd
all
goes
yells,
wild.
Maury, Maury.
And we
So-
have the stepdad backstage, and he's here right now. And then the fight breaks out.
But she's not gonna leave. Molly does not want to leave. She freaks out, and so the unknowns start crystallizing even harder. They're gonna crystallize.
More crystals. Crystalling harder.
Delia sees it in the book. The crystals. The Entei. The unknown. Oh my god. She tries to leave with Ash, but Entei reappears, blocks Delia in. Ash tries to fight Entei now.
Entei tells Ash to leave. She's Molly's mother now. And it's like, that's not really how
That's not how
parenthood
that works.
Yeah.
No.
He's like, I have the documents. Delia signed them.
So, but then Delia is like, but I signed them with my left hand, my non-dominant hand, so it's not legally binding.
In the state of Nevada. Gotcha!
Do you know what that was a reference to?
No, I don't actually.
Is the first book in the series of unfortunate events.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Count
I remember
Olaf.
those.
Count Olaf tries to marry Violet, a teenager, to get the family
Gross,
fortune.
okay. Yeah.
To get the fortune, but Klaus is looking through like all the law books and finds that if she signs the documents with her non-dominant hand, then they're not legally binding.
That's not true, is it?
No, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Well, good literary hour, Kellan.
Thank you. It's not like any of that
though
actually
none
happened.
of that actually happened, yeah.
Anyway, so Ash tries to fight Entei with Totodile. Goes for big water gun. Entei dodges. He goes for this big purple beam. And I don't know what the fuck this move is supposed to be.
Yeah, so this is interesting because I've been using the Bulbapedia description for a fair amount of today's recap. So shout out Bulbapedia, we use you all the time. They just call it Entei's flamethrower in all of these sequences.
I don't
Which
believe
I
that.
guess it kind of is in terms of like what's the closest move, but it's so much different from any flamethrower we've seen. First of all, it's pink. It's like a pink beam kind of thing.
I'm okay with just calling this like an ethereal move that does not exist.
Ether blast.
Because this Entei doesn't exist. Like, this isn't
That's
a real
true.
Entei.
Playground blast.
So it's doing some weird thing.
Imagination station. Combustion.
Kaboom!
Kaboom? Let's just call it kabooms.
No, the Imagination Station Kaboom.
Okay, let's call it the Imagination Station Kaboom. That's a mouthful.
The Iskaboom. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
So he's going for some Iskabooms. That rolls off the tongue nicely. I like that.
Iskaboom? Yeah.
The Iskabooms. Yeah. So, yeah, he's blasting everywhere. Anyway, he started blasting. Totodile's dodging a few, but eventually does get blasted by one. Ash is going to try Cyndaquil next. Flamethrower versus the Iskabooms. Cyndaquil gets fucked up. Ash
Easily
gets that this thing
overpowers.
is just an illusion. He's like, I'm not going to get beaten by an illusion. Molly's upset, more crystals, and Entei's like, I am this girl's father, and I must protect her.
I am not an illusion. He's stomping. He's roaring. And then we kind of get like some wind and snow sort of going on inside the mansion. Is this thing fire themed or what? We got pink blasts. We got snowstorms.
Pikachu blasts. Back and forth. They're going back and forth. Delia tells Molly only she can stop this.
Yeah,
Molly.
she said, think of your real parents. Like, get out of
Oof.
this illusion.
Oof.
Wake up, kid. Take a bite of the real world for
Get your
once.
shit together, Molly. Come on.
Yeah.
Team Rocket pop up in the fight and just like poke their heads in. They're like, oh shit, is this a battle? This must be the battleground. Thanks.
Yeah,
Games.
thanks.
Okay. Then Entei lets out a real big iskaboom, breaks the wall. Ash and Pikachu start falling to their deaths when, oh my god, this is hype as fuck. Charizard swoops in
Da,
and
da,
saves
da,
him.
da, and we get some
Ah!
sweet victorious music right at that point. So this is
He's
Ash's
back!
Charizard. He's back from the Charcific Valley. That's about
Incredible.
how long it takes to get from there. How long do you think that was since he saw them on the news till now? It wasn't that long. Maybe a few
Probably like an
hours
hour,
max.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good speed.
Pretty
He's
good
been
time,
training.
Charizard.
He made pretty good time.
And
This means
catches
you were
Ash
speeding.
just at the right moment. And Ash is like, well, that's convenient.
That worked out, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. He's fired the fuck up though. Entei
Oh,
tried to
yeah.
kill Ash. He's gonna kill his Entei.
Right.
But Entei
this
knocks
is
him
sick.
back pretty fast. He's no match. Ash almost falls again out of the ledge. Ash should have learned the first time. Stay away from the fucking ledge.
Yeah. Ash is countering philosophically here that him and his Pokemon are going to work together. They're a family, and Entei is trying to destroy the family, right? So he's seeing a kind of opposition there, and the fight continues. Yeah, like you said, kind of blasted to the end. Now, as he's about to fall again when
Mhm.
his friends pop up.
Yep, Brock and Misty and Team Rocket pull Ash up to safety.
They're going to help.
Team Rocket's helping out again, as they say. And the gang's confused. They're like, wait, why would you help us? You're bad guys. Team Rocket are like, well, if anything happened to you, we'd be out of show business. So.
We'd be out of a job.
So Ash offers Molly to come with them. She can even have a real Pokemon. She's like, I have real Pokemon. No, you don't, Molly. I'm sorry. Wake the fuck up. So Entei keeps iskabooming. Charizard swoops and whoops. He and Entei are trading blows. They connect beams. Kaboom. The music in this section is also pretty sick.
Yeah, the music really ramps up around here. It's a bit more traditional battle music now, but it's not the same old battle songs. It does seem custom, and it's kind of orchestral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Entei's starting to like jump from building to building, running up the walls. Charizard's trying to flamethrower. Entei's like jumping, but like new crystals are forming underneath him. It's pretty cool.
This is pretty cool, and this is one of the other parts in the movie that there's a bit more CGI.
Yeah.
Where parts of the tower, like certain angles, are CGI'd, but other parts are animated. I thought they looked a little bit weird, but the parts where Entei is jumping from crystal to crystal is very cool.
Very cool. I'm okay with thinking that it's a little weird, the visuals.
Yeah,
the
it
rest
wasn't
of
a
it's just
problem. It
pretty
wasn't a
sick.
problem. It
Yeah.
was pretty sick. So the whole fight's going on well, jumping around these crystal spikes, basically.
Charizard's flying around, firing. Entei reaches the peak. More beams are firing. More crystals. More jumping. Oh my god!
It goes on for a while. It's at
It is
least
a
like a
long
solid
sequence.
minute of
Yeah.
jumping and blasting.
Charizard's still on its tail though, surrounding it with fire. Nice big fire spin. It looks like, but Entei is still able to get out of it. More iskabooming.
Iskaboom, iskaboom.
Iskabooms. Ash tries to reason with it. You know, if you love her, you'll let her come with us. And Entei's like, "Fuck you!" Brrr,
I do not
brrr.
love. I am daddy. And blasts.
Whether it's right or wrong, I will do as she wishes. What a
Whether
fucking
it's-
simp, right?
That is simp material.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care how expensive her cookies are. I love Pokemon. I'm donating 100 subs.
Entei tips $50 to all the hot tub streamers to get his name written on their thighs.
Oh God. Entei and Amaranth's chat. Somebody,
Fan art. It's one on the list.
fan art. Not that I want to compare Amaranth and Pokemon. They're totally different types of content creators. Just want to say that.
Okay, Entei simping in Amaranth's chat is on the fan art list.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. Oh man, we've come up with some really good ones lately. We're on a roll.
Obama meme, just like giving yourself the gold medal.
So yeah, he'll do as she wishes. Blah blah blah. Big orb beam, biggest kaboom. Flamethrower connects. Kaboom! We got to get Molly out of here. Entei leaps at Charizard, pins him down, ready to slash his throat.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Charizard gets up, flies away, nearly hit by a lot of these protruding crystals. Gets clipped by one, falls down. One big beam sends them, Ash and Charizard, falling to the ground. Entei now has Charizard by the throat, ready to twist his neck.
And this
Snap
is
him.
where, like, when you say fall to the ground, this is where they're now back in the battle room.
Yes.
Right? Because they've gone,
Yes.
like, above it and smashed down into it again. So a lot of the other characters are around witnessing this killing blow now.
Yeah. Entei's ready to rip out Charizard's vocal cords with his teeth, and Molly tells him to stop.
Yeah, no more
Stop!
fighting.
And then Brock's like, wow, Molly, you're a great trainer, right, everybody? Wink, wink.
Yeah, everyone, tell her how great of a trainer she is.
Or we may all die.
Everyone tell the little kid how cool going to bed on time is. Everyone, isn't spinach amazing? Yeah, it's so good.
Isn't brushing your teeth poggy as fuck?
Do 5-year-olds say pog?
Probably.
Isn't brushing your teeth pog? Isn't it totally pog?
That's poggies, man. Poggies, all the way.
Isn't brushing your teeth totally skibbity toilet?
Riz, Ohio? Kai Sanat? Brain rot.
Yeah, I'm dying.
So
Killing blow, but she stops it, right? And like you said, Brock is trying to convince her that she's a great trainer, and he's saying, oh, you could even become a gym leader someday. Ash is backing this up. Battles are hard, but, it's friendship at the core of it that is important. You gotta love your Pokemon. Friends are real, blah, blah, blah.
And Delia hits her with the, it's what your father would have wanted. Wow, really hitting the low blow there.
That is a low blow.
So she takes Delia's hand. She wants things to be real again, and so the crystals start slowly dissipate. Entei starts walking off. I was created to be the father that could make you happy here. If you would be happier outside, in the real world, I must go.
Okay, so he's gonna cease to exist because he's this manifestation anyways. But what happens here is that the castle starts fighting back.
More crystals, nearly impaling everybody. Entei starts clearing a path down. Charizard takes Molly. Everyone follows. Ash calls Oak. They figure that the Unown have created so much psychic energy, they can't control it anymore. They gotta get out now, or they'll be trapped forever.
Right, so basically the tap's turned on, and it is not easy enough to just turn it off, right? You need a bit of a decreased reaction. This is very much, what's his name, Doc Ock at the end of Spider-Man 2 with the nuclear fusion, and he's got to bring it into the river because otherwise it'll destroy New York.
Some kid turned the tap in the sink on and plugged it and then locked the door and then left the bathroom without unlocking it. And so now we got to pick the lock to get in to turn off the tap. Yeah.
Right, and that bathroom's closed for a week. Will they figure out how to fix it?
So the Pokemon Center is being taken over too. Everyone has to evacuate. This is fucking up the entire surrounding area.
Yeah, it's spread even more. Crystals everywhere. Poké Center being attacked. Everybody runs out. Looks like they're getting out in the nick of time. So this is the reporter, Oak, Lisa, everybody.
And we go into the unknown room where they're flying around. Ash just tries to run at them.
We know where it is. It's the room full of unknown.
Yeah. Ash just tries to run at them.
Us. Yeah.
Which is stupid. There's just a giant force field blocking him.
There's a protective barrier, yep.
Knocks him back. Flamethrower from Charizard gets through, but the force field reforms, knocks him down. Pikachu tries now with a Thunderbolt, same thing basically.
Yeah, they Charizard and Pikachu are showing us that enough force can do something to the barrier, but it's very in the moment, right? It's right back. Yeah.
So they go for a team attack. They break through, but again, it just reforms, knocks him back down. More crystals are coming up all over the place. The Unknown have lost their fucking minds.
When the going gets tough, Team Rocket gets going. Let's get out of here.
They try to leave, but the crystals block them.
Yeah.
Not looking good in this situation.
No, it is not.
But then Entei, boom, blasts through the walls.
And now this is the music. There's a beat that kind of kicks in, and then also some wailing kind of in the background. I liked it a lot. And over the course of this scene, it sort of flows more into a piano piece. So good music. You know what? The soundtrack overall, it's not as good as Pokemon 2000 because the Pokemon 2000 soundtrack was unreal, but it's pretty good. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. So he starting to destroy all the crystals. He offers to take Molly out of this place. If she believes in him, there's nothing he can't do. So he starts taking the force field head on. She has to believe in Entei. Believe it can stop the Unknown, and it will. Very cheesy.
You can do it, Entei. So she's gonna tap in, and Ash is encouraging her too. Pikachu and Charizard are still trying to help a bit also.
Yeah, they join in. I also noted the good music as Entei fires a bright blue beam,
Mm,
hyper iskaboom,
the
that
hyper is kaboom.
causes all of the Unown to stop and slowly like fall
They're like, hey, what's
to the
that?
ground.
Right,
Yeah.
that's where it like finally breaks through, right?
Yeah. And then now the Unknown stopped doing all the shit they were doing.
The bright light, and then we get sort of this green aura around Entei.
This was Entei sacrificing himself, I believe.
Pulling an Aslan.
He has to go now, and they're gonna miss each other, Entei and Molly. Just keep me close in your dreams. Oh, that's what Spencer said at the beginning of the movie. Oh
Wink,
my god.
wink.
He disappears.
Entei kind of crystallizes and disappears, and letter tiles,
The
those
Scrabble
ones that the
tiles.
Scrabble tiles are falling to the ground. Someone kicked over
Someone
the board halfway through the game. He's like, triple letter score, god damn it! Throws it.
someone from the catwalk is just emptying the letter bag
Yeah,
over
yeah,
over the
exactly.
area.
And then the unknown are slowly disappearing back into the portal whence they came.
Mm-hmm. And the
So everything's
crystals
reverting. Entei and the
crystals
gang did
quickly
it.
vanish and return Greenfield to its original beauty, and then go to the ruins where the Unknown going back into wherever they came from. And oh, what's that? Spencer gets spat back out.
Yeah, so we don't really get much of an explanation of
Nope.
what Professor was doing, or like why, like why he got sucked in, why he came back out. I don't know. I guess it's some sort of like there isn't actually an infinite amount of room in the unknown dimension. So when he got
Yeah.
sucked in, they had to come out, and then when they go back in, he's got to come out. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's the population quota they gotta maintain. Like they need enough people in there for so it can be named like a village and not a hamlet. But they can't have too many people in there because they don't want to be named a town.
For tax purposes, they
Yeah.
don't have the municipal structure to support it in place. So yeah.
Yeah, the Unknown Town Council is in real shambles these days.
It's gone right wing. I mean alt right.
so so everyone leaves the mansion finally, looking over the fields that they've only ever seen in crystal form. Beautiful. Everything looks amazing. Oh, and everyone come driving in. Everything is back to normal, thankfully. Molly sees Entei in a cloud. She thanks him. It's a cute moment.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know. And then Team Rocket watch from high in the mansion. They can't get out with all these cops around, so they're kind of stuck here.
It's the fuzz. We're stuck in the tower.
But they're like, James is like, we should be happy. And Meowth, it's like, how can we be happy? We didn't capture one new Pokemon.
Mhm.
Jesse's happy for the little girl. She was adorable, yet indomitable, just like her. And James says that Entei was powerful and inscrutable, just like him. And Meowth goes, and that Meowth was lovable, just like me.
That was great. Good job, Mio.
And they don't care that they failed at catching a Pokemon because there's always next time they can fail. And so
Yeah.
until then,
We'll fail
Team
next
Rocket
time.
is fading out again. And
There
as we
you
look into the
go.
skies, as infinite as the possibilities that lie ahead for our heroes, that is the end of the film. Except for the credits, because there's still some credit stuff going on.
And the credits are a little bit important. So like don't really know the song that's playing. It was similar to The Power of One by Diana Ross from last time.
I thought it was
But
Donna Summers.
Donna Summers, you're right. Sorry. The Power of One by Donna Summers. Thank you. Similar kind of song, sandcastles in the sand sort of energy. But I don't know, a little generic. I didn't really remember it very well. But there's some important pieces, kind of, that are
Mhm.
stuck into the credits. So we see Professor Hale returning to his mansion and to his daughter. We see Charizard returning back to the valley. We see Oak falling off his couch while he's taking a nap.
He's okay, though.
He's fine.
Doesn't look like he broke anything.
My lumbago.
I love Mango.
um,
Lisa says goodbye. Brock freaks out. I think he probably just wants her number.
yeah,
Mhm.
Delia's cooking.
Molly has a real Teddy Ursa now she's playing with, which was very cute. I liked that a lot. And also, it would seem that Mom has returned. Where
Right,
the
so
fuck have you been?
this was a kicker to me because I kind of this whole movie thought that she had passed away. I
Yeah.
thought that was the thing. It turns out that in the Japanese version, they had a line about her leaving him, like due to like work stress or something.
Oh? I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
also like she disappeared.
Oh, no, 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 you're right. In the original Japanese, Spencer's wife's presence was never directly stated in the movie. Guidebooks revealed that she'd been hospitalized, but in the English, her absence was explained to having gone missing while studying the unknown. And then there's another line from the dub that Bulbapedia is saying that implies his obsession with the unknown stemmed from his wife's disappearance. So these are kind of contradictory ideas. That I don't know. I don't know what happened
How
to the mom.
I don't think so, because like he became obsessed with the unknown because she was investigating and disappeared. So then he got obsessed with investigating so he could figure out what happened.
That's from the English.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Japanese doesn't say that. The Japanese says the only thing is that there's an implication she'd been hospitalized.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mom's back. She,
Yeah.
for some reason, not explained anything. Apparently there was a whole thing about the writer of the film. Rather that this being her mom is confirmed in like the screenplay, and here it is. Takeshi Shudo, who I believe wrote the film, the original screenplay, basically was not happy with the fact that mom came back at the end because he says that if his own mother had been alive and he'd been in Molly's shoes, he wouldn't have abducted another person's mother. But to that, I also think like Molly, like if she's missing, Molly doesn't really know if she's alive or dead.
Yeah, I think she's too
I don't
young
know.
to understand the situation, including to understand like the implications of abducting a mother. Like I don't really
Yeah.
even think she was comprehending that.
No, not at
She's
all.
also like in a state where like there's unlimited wish fulfillment happening right here. Like Entei appears, Crystal Castle. She's probably getting like caviar on demand. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna Uber Eats a mother. Like that's the same thing.
I don't think they have that on the app.
They got scotch tape. They got bananas. Now they got mothers.
While you're out grabbing me my Taco Bell, can you swing by the nursing home and grab me a grandma?
Oh, that'd be a crazy ad. Uber Eats.
All right, let's. You haven't done literary art, right? Because
No, so
that's the
this is for
movie.
the
That is the end of the
last
movie.
chunk, yeah, of the movie now. We're going to review it. So the trope I'm looking at is called power incontinence in tvtropes.com, which is a pretty funny phrase for that. You know, incontinence being like you can't control your downstairs equipment. And this is where this is that you can't turn off the taps trope. So this is what's happening is like the unknown have ramped up and now they've lost control of it. And T's lost control of it. The power's flowing. This is sort of any kind of like monkey paw curls kind of story is sort of a version of this, like King Midas being the one, you know, the
Hmm.
infamous mythology of King Midas with the golden touch. He wishes to turn things to gold, but of course that backfires because he can't even touch his family or other people or anything. Right? It's all turning to gold. Can't turn it off. The power is a flowing. Shakespeare's The Tempest, I believe, has a concept of this where Prospero is using some of his last magic to make the storm, keeping the island safe. And I don't remember the Tempest that well, but I think there's something there too with losing control. And then I talked about Spider-Man 2 already with Doc Ock and his nuclear fusion reactor.
Hmm. All right. Well, should we finish rating this thing?
Yeah, 4 port time. Let's do it.
All right. So yeah, unlike the other two movies, we're doing 3 sections, not 4. So it's not as many things, but this movie's also shorter. So first category will be it's the cut it out ball.
Okay, so this is where I keep track of cuts. So I got to quickly count this out. There are parts, especially earlier in the movie, where there's a lot of
A
cuts because
lot
we're going
more,
from
yeah.
unknowns to Molly to Deli and Oak to the gang, right? So there's like
Yeah.
two Team Rockets. So there's like 5 sort of scenes going on, which
But
is
now
quite
things are
high.
more centralized and they're all in one location now at this point.
Mostly. There are a couple parts where there's lots of cuts. Like, okay, so there's this part where the gang is kind of running down to the unknown room, and then we get a call to Oak, and then we get more running, and then we see the Poke Center being attacked, and then we cut back. So there's a lot of cuts in that sequence. There's also some parts where it's switching between Molly and then cuts to the castle growing and then cuts to Dahlia. During the water battle, there's cutting to Team Rocket and then back to the battle and then to Ash. Yeah, there's also some cuts during that whole part with Brock where it's showing Ash and Misty running and then to Dahlia and then back to the battle. There's some Team Rocket cuts, and that's about as far back as this section would go. So yeah, there's 3 parts with like rapid cutting where there's like 4 or 5 cuts
Hmm.
like all at once. There's about 3 of those in this section.
I'll also count the credit sequence with all the different scenes in there
Oh,
because there's
that's
like
true.
6
Yeah,
or 7 of those
that's like
in
6 or
total.
7.
So
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
there's a
True.
good amount there.
I mean, this is a cutty movie in general since we're following a few character lines.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's much more sporadic at the start, and then it
Mhm.
does consolidate a bit. So I would still rank this somewhat strongly, but not high. It's gonna be about a 5.5 for me.
0.5, yeah, I was around there. I'm gonna go 6.
Okay, that's solid.
That's 5.75. Final category for the movie will be there we go. The sidekick shenanigans.
So that is for Pokemon that aren't Pikachu, right? Kind of like silly moments, that kind of thing. I mean, we
Mhm.
get some good Charizard action. The
Oh,
problem is in this.
I'm counting Charizard swooping in and saving the Ash because that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but don't we sort of reserve shenanigans to be more like silly moments?
I guess.
Like totodile dancing.
Yeah.
Whereas this is an action sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
So there's
whole
not
last
much.
half is action. Is there any gag?
Not really. Oh god.
Not really. Oof, Kellan, this isn't looking good.
Mm-mm.
Are we gonna finish with a shitty score?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, Entei is like, I'm daddy. So I'll give it a 2.
I can't think of anything specifically, like anything funny.
No, the
Oh
last
my
half
God.
is dry.
Yeah, I'll stay. I'll go with your 2
Oh
just for
god.
Entei, there. So that's that's a 2 altogether. All 6 categories. Anime manga energy 8, Black Parade enthusiast 6.35, Pokemon variety 8.1, character of the day 8.9, cut it out 5.75, sidekick shenanigans 2. Overall for the movie that is 6.52.
It's an okay score. I wish it had gotten a little bit higher, and it was too bad we pulled to sidekick shenanigans at the end there. So how does that compare to the other movies? Do you have those scores handy?
Well, Power of One got a 6.07, rounded to
Okay.
do decimal points.
Yeah.
And then the first movie got a flat 5.5.
Oh, this is the highest movie.
So this is the highest scoring movie at 6.51
Whoa.
or 6.52.
How I would kind of rank the movies so far, I would still have the first movie at the top, and then I would have the Entei movie, and then Pokemon 2000.
I think I'm with you
For-
there.
for my
I think I would
personal
do that
ranking.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the movie, and that's it for this week. We did it. We got
We
through
did it. Movie time. A little bit of
That
a
was-
longer episode, but I think this
Yeah,
was
it's worth it.
fun. Okay, what's next week, Kellan? I think I think that's a big one too, right?
Yeah, we got some big ones in a row because next week we are finishing up the Johto journeys. It is the final week of that. Final 2 episodes. We're going to cover episode 158, The Psychic Sidekicks, or in Japanese, Kirinriki! The Village of Esper Pokemon!
Ooh.
And episode 159, The Fortune Hunters, or in Japanese, Pokemon Fortune Telling! Battle Royale!
And I can tell from the thumbnail of that one that it's going to be a hoot.
It's a good one. It is an interesting one.
It's an interesting one.
But that's it for
All right. So join
week.
us next week. Let us know how you're enjoying things. If you're watching the video version, it's on youtube.com/hydroleech, and you can leave comments there. And also hit us up at tokilladeliBird@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter. tokilladeliBird is the handle. Find us wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. If you're on Spotify, there's options for engagement there. Please download, review, comment, all of that stuff. Video versions are on the platforms that support them as well. Intro and outro music is 80 Synthwave by Alexi Action. Kellan also runs TikTok, Hydroleeches, and then has Twitch, twitch.tv/Hydroleech. Anything else, Kellan?
Nope. That's it.
All right, let's get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the movie episode.
Go
Pokemon
check out
Movie 3.
The better movie, Cool Cat Saves the Kids, everybody.
With Eric Estrada. Good night.